Hello, and welcome to this week's My Family devotional, going through the Jenkins Institute devotional book for this year. This week is entitled Letting Our Children Go. And this was a weird one and harder one for me, I guess. I always grew up as, or at least thought of myself as more of an independent kid. And so I felt like I spent a lot of my life looking as like, okay, I'm ready to, ready to be on my own, separate from my parents, right? Like I'm ready to be let go. And now I have a child of my own, and I feel like I hold her tight every day and say, I'm never going to let you go. And so I kind of understand it now a little bit more. I definitely don't fully understand it, but this is a hard topic of talking about how do we let our children go, and something that's not easy, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So it's a hard topic, and I'm definitely not the best person to talk about it. But read through the devotionals. Maybe you'll pick something up in there that'll also help. And if, just to start off, if you're a younger parent watching this, talk to some older parents, your parents or people in your life that are older and have successfully flushed all the children out of the house, maybe, so that they're on their own, some empty nesters, and talk about this topic, like, hey, how do I successfully prepare my children for that moment when they're actually going to be out of the house and exiting my house? Like, what can I do now? Because to properly let our children go and to feel good about that, it's not just a moment, right? It's something we're building up to. So what can I do while my children are in the house to help them leave? Not that we want them to, but what am I doing to help them gain that independence in the world in general? But obviously, this is about our faith and our faith as a family. So how do I help them develop that faith while they're in the house, so that when the time comes and they leave and go off to college or go off to a job or start a family of their own, that they develop that faith as well. So if you are a parent now, especially a younger parent, and you've had one or two leave and still have some, or you have them all, or you don't have any yet and you're wanting to have some, even now is a good time to talk to someone else about, hey, what are some tips that you've learned? What are some things that you did? Where are some areas that you wish you could have done better on preparing your child as they leave? So talk to other parents about this. I think that will help a ton. If you're an older, maybe you're a grandparent, maybe you're an older individual who already has had kids leave the nest, be willing to talk, or maybe reach out to some younger families and say, hey, if there's any, I know this can be a hard subject, but we're here to help. We think we can lend a helping hand and be willing to help talk about some of those issues that maybe you thought you didn't do as well in, and be able to say, hey, here's where we kind of messed up a little bit, and we want to help you so that you can avoid those mistakes. I think we always say it takes a village, but sometimes we find it difficult to use the village in proper ways. So how can we be a better village for each other, I think, is how we're going to properly answer this question of how do we let our children go. But from my part, I guess I would just say, focus on what we're doing now to let our children go later. What can I do now to help my child develop their own faith, so that when they leave, it's not just my faith that I'm passing on to them, but I'm helping them develop their own type of faith, so that when they leave, they're able to enter the world. They might not know everything. They're not going to know everything, but they at least have this one thing down, that, hey, I know who my God is and I know who I'm serving. The famous line from Joshua where he says, choose for this day who you're going to serve. But for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord, right? how can we do that? How can we develop our kids? Hopefully that was helpful. Maybe it wasn't super helpful. I'm just passing on the work to other people, but it really does take a village. So find ways to use our village, I think, is going to be the best way to approach this topic. And of course, prayer. Pray daily over your child, over your grandchildren, over the children of people in our church. What can we do to help build their faith now so that they are ready to leave later? Hope you can join us tonight. If you need a place to worship, we'll have services tonight. And if there's anything you need, please contact church office. Thank you.